Roadstar Motorsport is an automobile customization company, and we specialize in exotic European cars.
So whose idea was it to start the business?
Actually, idea came up. Well, it was a collabo, from friends and people always commenting about how nice the cars we drove.
That's how I understand. You left a very good paying job to do this. What were you thinking?
Just like my job, being a stockbroker with Morgan Stanley, risk, and I measure the risk factors and how it can pay off and so forth. And any great businessman will tell you that, sometimes you do have to take great risks. And sometimes a lot of these great risks comes with rewards. I figured I can't really go wrong.
You went to the SBA and asked for $100 grand. What did they tell you?
That was a pretty interesting act. Basically, they looked at me and laughed at me because I took a proposal and asked for a $100,000 loan, and they were just not interested at all. So that actually created a lot of motivation for me to go ahead and make sure I did what I did and proved them wrong. And actually, after we started business, we was doing so well, and we got our first article in the Rights magazine. Actually, I went back to that SBA and took the magazine and showed it to the manager that actually, basically told me to get at, and he was quite amazed, and then he apologized and he offered other services, and it was a wrap.
How did you get the money?
A lot of money came from money that I had saved up and money that I had accumulated as I worked at Morgan Stanley, and also with a little bit of family support.
Hussein, what do you do?
Street promotion, industry. I go out, talk to the industry people, ball players, music, rappers, get them out here, tell them, hey, come check out my spot, Roadstar, because they like spending money anyway, so rather than go spend it somewhere else, be like, hey, come spend on Roadstar.
And where did you find the people who know how to do these kinds of customizations?
Okay, one of my guys here is originally from Hungary. He used to be a mechanical engineer, and he got out that business, so started with him. And he's my guru tech guy here.
So I understand now you're thinking about going into Moscow, but I mean, will the market support something like this?
You gotta understand that right now in Moscow, if you do your research, there's probably more millionaires in Moscow than anywhere else in the world.
Now you're the PR guy, you're relying on your contacts and your street savvy to get business here.
Yes.
How are you going to do that in Moscow?
Same way I did in the United States. Same way.
No different? Same kind of marketplace?
Same kind of, just go to industry, go to wealthy neighborhood, wealthy parties, stick around wealthy, because only the wealth could really afford what we do.
Give me an example of a deal that went bad and how you dealt with it.
Okay, we had a gentleman that used to play for the Los Angeles Clippers, and it was time for him to write a check. And that became a big issue because he kept adding all these things in the car without actually thinking about it as far as the cost. And then once it was done, it was way over what he had projected, and we couldn't really reverse the effect. So
what did you do?
We just had to swallow majority of the cost.
Interesting. And why did you do that as opposed to just take the guy to court? Because,
he was referred from another basketball player, which we have an awesome relationship with. And because he was referred from another type of relationship we already had with him, we didn't want to jeopardize that relationship. And also with him, that was his first year. He was a rookie. So we, as a financial point, I'm thinking, okay, it's an investment for the future. So, we're going to swallow it now, but we get him back later somehow, some way along the line.
Now, what you're doing looks like it's fun, but is it profitable?
Yes, sir, it's profitable.
How much?
Where we explored different markets. For example, we have a client who is one of the princes of Saudi that did a lot of work with us, and then he sent us quite a lot of referrals.
What do you think it is that's making you guys succeed where so many other people have failed?
As far as we was here for a purpose. We was not here just to hang around. We was here for a purpose. So it was made clearly when we first came to this country that to make sure that whatever we do here, we got to keep in mind that, you know, we're here for a purpose, so we must succeed.